Many of us who have begun the gluten-free journey feel like we are stuck in a bit of a maze. After all, we're still recovering from having our bodies whacked out and still have a lot of questions. Even if you aren't suffering from low blood pressure, GI distress, insomnia, moodiness, and brain fog associated with celiac disease, you still want to avoid obesity, metabolic dysfunction, cancer, diabetes, and inflammation associated with gluten-containing foods. But could it be that gluten is actually only part of the problem? The good news is that if you still aren't feeling your best, there's likely a very good reason. The fact is that many of the gluten-free flours we've opted for when we choose or even make a non-gluten bread aren't the best for our health. One way you can remember what to avoid is to use the acronym GAGA WGA. 1. G. Glycemic. One mistake gluten-free dieters make is not thinking about the glycemic load people are putting on their body. It is commonly understood that if you expose your body to the ups and downs of high-carb foods enough, you will become diabetic. So really try to limit high glycemic flours like teff and sorghum, but especially potato, tapioca, arrowroot, and sweet rice flour. A. Arsenic. There are certainly other high glycemic flours one should avoid, and breads made with brown rice or brown rice syrup should be near the top. Why? Arsenic, which is now being commonly found in brown rice, causes cancer of the kidneys, lungs, bladder, and skin, and damaged chromosomes for good measure. It's one thing if arsenic occurs in small doses in one's food or water, but even watchdog groups like Consumer Reports have found up to the 90 times the legal limit of the arsenic in some popular gluten-free products that are allowed in our drinking water. So stay away from gluten-free foods made with brown rice. After all, chronic arsenic exposure, even at low levels, can lead to the same headaches, fatigue, brain fog, and digestive issues that you will get with gluten in the first place. Third, GMO. It's sad when we hear gluten-free, many of us actually think GMO. This is because many of the big companies who are happy to feed us 100 times the gluten that we used to get in our bread are the same companies offering gluten-free products. So while they weren't too concerned about crossbreeding that led to the extra gluten in the first place, they still aren't concerned that the bread they are making is filled with genetic mutations and pesticides that have been linked to autism, Alzheimer's, cancer, and a whole host of inflammatory and autoimmune issues. Main perpetrators here include soy and corn derivatives, but one should also be aware that glyphosate, that is the hormone disruptor Roundup, leads to the same problems that we've seen before. It's sprayed on crops like oats and edible beans right before harvest. Allergies. Now, for most gluten-free foods, it's not just soy and corn that cause allergic reactions. Beet derivatives, often labeled sugar, cottonseed oil, and canola oil are also found in many non-gluten foods. The problem usually comes when these are GMO, but even an organic flour, from almonds to flax, can cause issues. First, one can have a primary allergy to almonds after repeated exposure. This sensitization has the potential to cause a severe, life-threatening allergic reaction, which includes breathing difficulty. There's also a secondary allergy to almonds that can be caused because of an allergy to birch pollen. These types of reactions are usually mild and include itching or swelling in the mouth. Now, almond isn't really ideally the best flour for other reasons, including its being high in PUFAs, that's polyunsaturated fatty acids, which slow down metabolism, encouraging inflammatory response, impairing digestive enzymes, depleting antioxidants, and inhibiting progesterone, androgen, and estrogen. So women in particular, if they overuse almond flour, can expect extra weight gain and an aggravated PMS with hormonal acne. Fifth, WGA. Wheat germ agglutinin, found in foods containing gluten, is not the stuff you'd want to sprinkle on your salad. Its direct toxic effects on most tissues in your body, including the heart and brain, have been proved to disrupt the hormonal system, weaken immunity, cause digestion problems, and promote systemic inflammation. So just know that if you are thinking about using sweet rice flour instead of brown rice, this flour does contain a protein that acts in a similar way to WGA. So what's the best flour? When combining the organic forms of all popular gluten-free flours, two winners stand out. First, those who are not allergic, there is flax meal. So flax is a good cheap choice as a gluten-free flour. It is high in omega-3s and works well when making different types of breads. But if you're going to make flax, be warned, once milled it does go rancid quickly. So its oxidized fats increase inflammation, fostering the development of harmful compounds that have been linked to cancer, cardiovascular disease, neurological problems, and advanced aging. So don't hold on to it for too long. Second, there's coconut flour. As a byproduct of fresh coconut oil, it has many great properties. Not only is it gluten-free, it stands out from the pack in a few ways. First, it's rich in digestible fiber. This means coconut flour helps push out the toxins and little creatures that don't belong in your body's biome. In other words, it's great for detox. Cleaning out the old chimney is a great way to prevent the old homestead from burning to the ground, but expect a little discomfort as you start to get rid of the bad stuff. The good news is that once you start detoxing, you'll start to feel a lot better. And in the long run, you should expect less of an issue with allergens in general as you build up the healthy bacteria in your gut. Second, it helps you feel full and lose weight. Because it naturally expands, it not only makes more bread when you bake it, it also helps with healthy weight management. Since you feel full for longer, you'll naturally eat less calories. As a bonus, it also contains medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, which are essential protecting the body's systems, being antiviral, antimicrobial, and antifungal. And it has the same healthy fats shown to boost metabolism and also help with weight loss. Third, it's low in net carbs, so it's safe for diabetics. The same high fiber and relatively low digestible carbohydrates that make coconut flour great for appetite control make coconut flour safe for diabetics. So rather than going for an addiction-promoting high-carb flour, choose a flour that slowly metabolizes and won't spike your blood sugar. Fourth is protein-rich. Rather than being known for harmful proteins like gluten, coconut flour contains many healthy proteins. In fact, 4 ounces of coconut flour contain almost 45% of the recommended daily intake, which blows away the protein in typical processed flours. This is why not only vegans will appreciate coconut flour as a protein supplement, but bodybuilders too. In fact, anyone looking to get some extra exercise will appreciate it since it helps with cell repair and growth after vigorous workouts. Fifth, it's hyperallergenic. It should be stated plainly. A coconut is not a true nut. It is technically a druple. Without getting into all the botanical classifications, it should be understood that very few have allergies to coconuts. In other words, compounds found in coconuts and even the pollen itself are very rarely considered dangerous. In the vast majority of cases where some reaction does occur, it is dermatological and not a real food allergy, just on the skin. Finally, if you're gluten sensitive, you should also know that many companies allow cross-contamination of their products not only with gluten, but also corn, soy, peanuts, and GMOs. Obviously, this can cause big problems if you really are a celiac. But the good news is that we here at Coconut Country Living know the amazing benefits of coconut flour and have decided to produce a coconut flour that is not only fresh and organic, but is also made in a dedicated coconut-only facility. So you don't have to worry about allergens or any weird ingredients that mess up your health. And once you've tried our coconut flour, we'll promise you'll never go back. A word of warning though, coconut flour can be a tricky piece of dough to work with, especially to try and make pasta. This is why we've included some very cool recipes to get you started, from pizza crust and sweet potato latkes to blueberry cobbler and that world's favorite, bread. You'll get them all free in this recipe, Great Coconut Flour Recipes, Savory and Sweet, by Amazon Kindle best-selling author Michael DeSalvo. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the low-carb, gluten-free flour of your dreams and start enjoying life again. And drop us a line or comment below about how you're doing on your own gluten-free journey. Find us by searching for organic coconut flour on Amazon.com while we are still in stock, and we'll catch you on the other side in Coconut Country.